How many people do you think you've legitimately interacted with in your whole life? It's a hard question to answer, even hypothetically. On any given day, depending on your routine and lifestyle, you might see hundreds or even thousands of faces. On your morning commute, in restaurants and banks, walking down the street outside your home, hundreds and hundreds of strangers. And on top of them, the people you know, the people you talk to, the people you remember and care about. It's a sad fact of human nature that relationships end. I mean, with the amount of people you interact with in a lifetime, how could they not? Sometimes it's meaningless, trivial, the quick chat you have with a stranger in a checkout line or at a concert, pleasant and short, and then over forever, barely a memory. Sometimes it's more meaningful, harder, leaving your hometown for college, getting a new job and leaving your old coworkers, a graduation, a new opportunity. Sometimes things end for good reasons, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes things end messy between you and a person. A bad breakup, a fight. You say things or do things that aren't pretty, that you wouldn't normally say or do, and by the time things are over, the memory of the other person is warped, stained by that terrible farewell. You mourn the loss of a relationship, however bad it might have been. You go out of your way to avoid them. Maybe you talk to the people you're close to about the experience, get sympathy, and an agreed upon narrative where you were in the right and they were in the wrong. And then, the funny thing about memory and priorities, it starts to fade. First the anger, then the rest of the emotions too. Eventually, that person and that moment, in all of its drama, with all of its chaos, is reduced to just another one of the hundreds or thousands of faces you see every day. It's faded into the background of your perception. No longer important, a bit of backstory, character development, something to inform future relationships, but nothing current, nothing worth paying attention to anymore. You've moved on. But what if they haven't? It's easy to be hurt by somebody you love. They know all of your weaknesses. But it might actually be even easier to be hurt by somebody you loved and forgot. Because then, you never see them coming. It's September 24th. Autumn has just started. Interestingly, it's the actual date that I'm recording this audio. Go figure. In tonight's episode, we take on the role of Noah Baker, a 28-year-old male from the Midwest. The story took place 10 years ago, when he was 18. Noah's dad set him up with a job watching the house for one of his coworkers while he was away for a weekend. $100 for sitting around and a couple chores. Doesn't sound too hard to me. Just after Noah tells us his dad drove him to the house, the scene, oddly, cuts to the interior of a laundromat. Maybe Noah's waiting for his dad? It's raining out pretty heavily. We take some time to investigate the space before inevitably being drawn towards a door marked private. A very ominous staircase. Not really sure what's happening, but without any warning, a radio kicks on, and we're prompted with shift to sprint. I talked in the last video about how these games, and most horror games honestly, love to use little cues like these to trigger panic in their players, and this is a great example. We're first presented with a strange and unexpected scene, receive a minor blackout, and are suddenly prompted to run down this seemingly endless walkway. I don't have my footage open in front of me as I write and record this script, but I guarantee you that not long after receiving this prompt, I checked behind me. We can't help but feel, even if we're wrong, that something's chasing us. But right now, nothing is. But the presence of that anxiety is still there. This moment, whatever it is, seems important. But how? Why? Why am I in a laundromat? Why am I running? What am I running from? Eventually, we come across a man sat across from one of the many washers. He asks us, desperately, for bleach, a request that seems to confuse Noah until suddenly, the man starts saying his name. Nap time's over, we're here. And we come to in the back seat of our dad's car. It was a dream. Of course, that makes sense. A dream about laundry machines and running. Poignant. Like most dreams, it was probably nothing, but it still lingers. Whatever. We're told, before leaving the car, that the key to the house is in a fake rock in the backyard. Our dad pulls away, and Noah, equipped with his math notebook, heads towards the house. It's a little spooky out here, but that's probably just because it's dark and that weird dream is still lingering in our head. There's a dog sleeping next to a doghouse. Good boy. Where the hell is that fake rock? We eventually find the rock next to another doghouse and head inside. I love how the ominous ambiance kind of muffles when you close the door, like the spookiness has been trapped outside. It's an effective way of showing the way we perceive safety. Inside, with the lights on and the doors closed, it doesn't feel as intimidating that it's night. The strange dream seems further away. This is a nice house. It's big. We have to pee. And so begins the most engaging part of this episode. Piss minigame. I'm not very good at this. Noah gets some messages from a girl named Evelyn Cooper, who appears to be Noah's girlfriend, and an unknown number who quickly identifies himself as Roy Carson, the owner of the house we're looking after. As per usual, these texts give a little more context to the events leading up to Noah's house sitting, but we also learn a little bit more from them. Noah apparently has a kind of weird relationship with his dad, having something to do with a person named Kara. Not sure who that is, but Evelyn seems to be familiar with her and does not have nice things to say about her. An ex, maybe? Whatever the case, Evelyn and Noah are cute, and also are going to watch The Grudge together next week, a movie that genuinely terrified me when I was younger. Good for them. The dog's name is Zeke. He's been sick lately. Mr. Carson asks us to feed him. His dog food is in the dark, scary basement because, of course it is. Is it stupid to be afraid of walking into a basement? It kind of feels like it is. It's just another room in a house. By all accounts, it shouldn't be any more or less safe than anywhere else. Maybe I get antsy because I know there isn't an easy means of escape, but what is it exactly that I expect to find down there? It's not like the last 2 episodes of this series have been about unpredictable people showing up in places you don't expect them to. Oh boy. It's definitely too dark down here right now. Mr. Carson seems to clue into this around the same time that we do, though, and he sends us up to get a flashlight from upstairs. We can do some exploring around the house. It's pretty big and clearly very nice. Mr. Carson has a pretty killer setup. I wish I could record videos here. Something about having a flashlight in a dark room somehow makes everything scarier, not less scary. I either want full lights or nothing at all. None of this just out of view, the horrors where you're not looking bullshit. Dog food. Good. Okay. Eat up, boy. Mr. Carson sends us a message asking us to take a look at his computer. Kind of strange that this guy whose job is clearly based around computers and electronics is asking a kid to solve his computer problem. Apparently, there's a whole security system tied to it. I'm sure that won't be relevant later. I love using computers in games. I know that's kind of a weird sentence, but there's just something so novel about being on a computer, playing a different other computer. Think games like Hypnospace Outlaw or Emily is Away. The fake OS, the old school nostalgic graphics, the blocky sound effects. It's fun for me. Anyway, egg? What the hell is egg? Okay, nothing works on this computer. Guess I should download an antivirus. Looks like it worked. Okay, time to find out what egg is. It still doesn't work? Damn it! Okay, I want to snoop around on all the other stuff. There's a video here by Alec Carson. Pretty sure that's Roy's kid. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Either someone's getting into the digital horror game good and early, or someone needs to have a long talk with their father and maybe a mental health professional. Either way, very strange. God damn it. I'm pretty sure some of these countries are made up. That, or I'm uncultured. But it's probably the first thing. So, here's the security system Mr. Carson was talking about. It looks like there's 10 cameras pointed at places like the living room, the kitchen, the outside, the hallways, the basement. You can see a majority of the house from here. Good to know that if we ever wanted to check on something in the basement, we don't have to go down there. The cameras all have night vision too. You know, flipping through these cameras, I'm not immediately seeing anything, but there's a part of me, the part that knows what kind of story it is we're playing through, that is worried I've missed something. That hidden behind one of the pieces of furniture or tucked away quietly into a shadow is something. Something that's not supposed to be there, that's waiting to be noticed. I don't even know what I'd do if I saw it. It'd be terrifying, having to walk past a room or down the stairs to get away from something you know the exact location of, praying it doesn't move from the last place you saw it. It's terrifying not knowing where a threat is, but knowing for sure honestly isn't much better. Do you have security cameras in your home? How often do you check them? What would you do if, the next time you checked them, you saw someone stand... Noah's girlfriend wants us to watch a rerun of the show Cooking with Jeffrey. Alright, I love a good cooking show. What am I watching here? So, as may be clear to you by now, Rayll, the developer of the game, has definitely stepped up their game with this game. In the last episode, we got driving mechanics and microphone features. In this one, we get even more. New piss minigame, new systems to work with, surreal videos and broadcasts, and even some light voice acting. It's awesome watching the creator develop throughout the series and clearly put more time and effort into each subsequent episode as the series' popularity grows. There's a reason these games have gained such an audience. So, the show's creepy and surreal to our characters too. This isn't just an artistic choice. It's like something that would have been played on Adult Swim. Fun fact, the character on screen here, Jeffrey, is voiced by Berleezy. Keep an eye out for more familiar voices in the future. Carson interrupts our frankly insane viewing experience, asking us to pick up some groceries for him. Boy, this house-sitting job comes with a lot of chores. Oh well. We take Alec's bike, and we're off. We get to the store, Nux, at a little bit before 9:30. There's a woman walking out of the store as we get there. I guess these are prime shopping hours? As is the case in real life, every time I enter a grocery store, for some reason, an old lady comes up and asks if I work there. I do not, obviously, but I help her find the mustard anyway because I'm a good person. Alright, there's a lot on this list, better get to it. Doo-doo-doo. Oh hey, these are Noah's friends, Turner and Andy. I guess this is the spot to be tonight. One of our friends tells us that our girl was here, Kara, that name from earlier. I guess she is our ex, which the other friend quickly confirms. These guys are totally unserious about seeing her, quickly devolving into calling her a goth MILF for some reason. Maybe she was older than us. As Noah gets back to shopping, we learn via his internal dialogue that Turner, who is, I think, the kid in the red, is apparently kind of annoying and likes playing pranks on people. I'm sure that won't come up again. Okay, finally got everything. It's getting late, time to get back to the house. We have to pee again! Woo! Okay, I guess I should finally start that homework. Noah's like me in high school. It's almost 10 p.m. and he hasn't even started. Ah, good. A distraction. We get a bunch of texts from Andy, the kid we saw earlier. He tells us to look up Roy Carson's divorce. Huh. Okay, that piques my interest. I guess I can take a couple minutes to look into it. Roy Carson, co-founder of BN Media, allegedly receiving death threats from the angry fans of his ex-wife. That's the title of the headline we find. Apparently the fans of Roy's ex-wife, a former actress named Alyssa Brown Carson, have been sending death threats to Roy due to rumors of infidelity. As we scroll through the story, there's a picture of Roy's house, the very house we're sitting in tonight, right there on the website. That doesn't feel very safe, considering, death threats. Apparently, people have been knocking on Roy's door to confront him. I have an idea of how they're finding the place. Maybe we should... The doorbell rings. What incredible timing. Well, considering what I just read, I don't feel great about going to answer the door. Luckily, we've already messed with all of those security cameras. Let's see who's there. It's a man in a hat with a bag by his feet. Looks like maybe a pizza guy? But we didn't order a pizza. Something feels off here. What if this is a trick? An angry fan using a disguise to get access to his target's house. What'll he do when he realizes Roy isn't here? What will he do to me? He keeps ringing the doorbell. Doesn't look like we can just wait him out. I guess we can carefully go see what he wants. Through the door, he confirms that he is a pizza guy and tells you that apparently the pizza was ordered by Roy Carson. I guess it's possible Roy could have ordered a pizza for us, but why didn't he tell us? This still feels wrong for some reason. It's at this moment, as I try to decide how to handle this situation, that I realize how limited my options are. Calling the cops won't work. This guy's already here, and in the time it takes him to arrive, he could do anything. I can't go out another door because even if I went out the back, I'd still have to loop around the house next to the front porch, and he'd definitely see me. I guess we just have to hope this is a real pizza delivery. Okay, that went fine. Guess I was worried about nothing. Oh, you want to wait inside? I'm not that stupid. Sorry, pizza boy. Enjoy that rain. A lot of people online seem curious about what happens if you let the pizza guy in, whether or not he's secretly an antagonist who kills you, but if you pay attention to the dialogue options in this scene, you realize that you actually don't even have the option. Looks like this pizza guy was destined to drive home in the rain. After the strange pizza homie leaves, we finally get a text from Roy Carson telling us to be on the lookout for a pizza delivery. Okay, so it was him. You could have texted me a little earlier, my man. Noah is Gen Z, and that means that he can't eat his meal without watching something. Relatable. Time for more insanity. The stuff playing on the TV is, again, very strange, but this time it seems a little more intentional. Some kind of horror-themed programming is on, possibly due to the autumn season. We don't get to sit with it for very long, though, as the doorbell rings again. You better not have ordered me another pizza, Mr. Carson. This time, when we go to answer the door, no one responds. It's just silent. Once again, the security camera comes in clutch. There's no one there. There are flowers, though? Are those for Mr. Carson? Or are they for me? Weird. I mentioned this before in another video, but part of what makes these games so satisfying for me is the vagueness of the danger during the setup. Again, dramatic irony, we know we're playing a horror game, but the protagonist doesn't. So, to him, to Noah in this case, it's just a bunch of weird little occurrences, possibly not even related to each other. Weird dreams, strangers at the door, a house stalked by angry fans. To us, this is all part of a cohesive rising action, but Noah might not even recognize a relationship between these things. All that's on his mind is girls, pizza, and homework. I honestly doubt he's even on edge. Nothing about his text messages imply he's uncomfortable. But still, there's something weird about these flowers. Speaking of text messages, unknown sender, but they're speaking like they know us. A scammer or a spammer? Could be. I've certainly gotten similar text messages from strangers before, but maybe it's someone else. Someone we know? Noah just assumes it's a wrong number. Yummy pizza. These sounds are fucking unbearable. I guess it's finally time to work on homework. It honestly takes longer than expected because we're still working on it at around 1:30 in the morning when the power suddenly shuts off. Okay, I guess this is as good a time as any to take a break. What's going on with the power? Shit, I have a couple more texts. I wonder if Evelyn... Oh, this doesn't seem like a scammer or a wrong number. This feels personal. Who the fuck is Todd? Do you remember earlier, at the start of this video when I talked about relationships? The people we move on from, or who move on from us? The potential messiness of those breaks? When I was giving that whole spiel, someone came to your mind, didn't they? Someone you wronged, or who wronged you. The person you avoided or talked shit about or tried to forget. Who are they? What did they do? What are they capable of? I wonder if that person, the one that appeared in your head, still thinks about you. You'd know better than I would. I wonder if they're still mad. I wonder if they'll ever get over it. I wonder if maybe they've been sitting on that anger, letting it grow and mutate. I wonder if, at a certain point, the anger, or the resentment, or hell, maybe even the love, will become too much for them to bear. Maybe it already has. When that moment comes, what do you think they'll do? What do you think they'll do to you? Where do you think they are right now? Somebody cut the power. Clearly, Zeke is outside in the cold night air, absolutely freaking out near the fuse box, and Noah assumes this is all a prank by Turner. I suppose that's the least intimidating assumption to roll with, but something tells me this isn't a prank. Fun fact, it's at this point in the game that you can start getting fail states. We avoided one just now by not checking the garage. I'm not going to point all the other ones out, but you should know that despite his assumption about Turner, Noah is in active danger now. Someone is here. But who? We get the power back on. The person on the phone tells us, "You said we'd stay friends." Oh boy. This is an X, isn't it? And I think I have an idea of which X it might be. Oh well, I don't have any time to fear for my safety. I got, trigonometry, statistics. It may surprise you to learn, dear bonehead viewer, that math was not my strong suit in high school, or any of the other schools. It's something. We've got something homework. Noah finally starts cluing into the situation he's in. Something feels off. In the background, we hear a clattering, and when we look at the security cameras, who trashed the studio? If Noah still thinks this is Turner, then clearly Turner is a bit of an asshole. I have to admit, this stage of the game is where I kinda don't understand Noah's actions anymore. I mean, I guess he's still convincing himself that it's one of his friends who's messing with him, but he's not really putting in much of an effort into confirming that suspicion. As I said in another video, most of these survivors don't make it out because they're expert strategists, but rather because of their luck. Having said that though, Noah, don't you want to be a little bit more proactive? It might be time to at least tell Mr. Carson what's been going on. Nope, more something homework. I have a something quiz on Tuesday. Okay, Noah, you can't ignore the sound of what is clearly a knife being picked up. Even if it's still Turner fucking with you, which, let's be clear, it definitely isn't, this has gone far enough. But what do we do now? Whoever is here has a weapon. It would definitely be a bad idea to rush straight to the noise. The cameras show that someone turned the oven on. In fact, they must have just done it because I can make someone out moving by the window. There also appears to be a knife missing from the block, as expected. It feels like we're being lured into an ambush. We go to turn the oven off, and suddenly... Well, I don't know, but it'll probably be knife-related. We can't just leave it on, though. God damn it! Maybe Noah should pick up a knife, too. He doesn't, though. Instead, he does what he should have done earlier. He texts Andy to get Turner to stop fucking with him. As expected, Andy reveals that Turner is with him and that whoever is messing with Noah is someone else. Alarm! Alarm, Noah! The time to fuck around and do homework is over. It's time to... Who is that? There's a woman in the house. She's holding a knife. We watch her on the security cameras as she walks from room to room. There are two options here. The first is that this is one of Roy's wife's fans, and she's here for Roy. That's not great. Who knows how she might react when she realizes Roy isn't here. The worst option is the second. She's not here for Roy. She's here for us. By the time we get eyes on her, she's already heading upstairs. See, that's why you don't hide in a place with only one exit. Turns out there was no threat in the basement, though. Go figure. She's getting closer and closer to the room Noah's watching her from. Our options are extremely limited. There's nowhere to go. One of the doors in this room is blocked. The other feeds right into a tight hallway. There's a laundry room there, but... Laundry. No time to think about that, though. She's calling out our name. Option 2. Shit. She knows we're in here. She says she misses us. She wants to work out whatever's happening between us. What's that knife for, then? This, in case you haven't pieced it together, is Kara, Noah's ex. We won't find out until later, but their relationship ended due to Kara's drug use. That's probably what Noah was referencing when he mentioned earlier that his dad was disappointed. Noah tried to get her to stop, a very familiar, toxic, high school relationship story, but when he was unsuccessful, he ended things. Now, obviously, he's with Evelyn, in a healthier, happier relationship, but Kara has not been capable of moving on. Whether it's the influence of the drugs or her regular personality, she's decided to do something about this breakup tonight, and things clearly aren't going her way. You may have noticed that this is the first Fears to Fathom entry where we get a real explanation about the motivation of our antagonist. It doesn't necessarily change how horrifying the encounter is, but it gives a little context to it and helps immerse us more deeply in the story. I also have to imagine it makes the writing and game-making process easier, knowing your villain's intentions. But enough commentary, let's get back to the situation at hand. Knowing Kara's on the other side of the wall, but just out of sight of the second door, Noah has two options. He can hunker down in this room, try to hide or find a weapon, and wait for Kara to come in, which seems like a bad idea, or he can make a break for it. He just needs a way to get around Kara for just a second. We talk with Kara a bit, a very productive conversation. As soon as it's over and Kara basically tells us she's gonna kill us, it's time to make our move. Noah, with only seconds to spare, bolts from the computer room to the room across the hall, the laundry room, before Kara walks around the corner right in front of us and walks into the room we just left. Noah knows that his only opportunity for escape is to run right when Kara's not looking, when she's out of sight. As we sit there, just for a couple seconds, but feeling like an eternity, something dawns on us. Or at least, it dawned on me. Our dream from earlier. It was a premonition. Think about it. The laundry machines, the desperation, the running, it was preparing us for this. It was telling us what we needed to do and where we needed to go to survive. I don't know how much Rayll added to the story. I don't know if that opening dream sequence was something the original author actually experienced, or if it was something Rayll threw into the game to make it more narratively pleasing. But either way, this moment makes the game just a little bit more satisfying. If I'm not wrong, this is the only dream sequence we ever see in the series, and it's perfectly subtle and well integrated. It's totally possible not to make this connection, and even possible that I've read too much into it, but either way, I like it. It works for me. Now, let's see if this works for Noah. She calls our name. She walks into the room. She moves left, out of sight. Go. Noah runs, unsure if he's been spotted, unsure whether or not Kara is sprinting after him with a knife above her head. He runs for his life, away from the laundry, down the stairs to the front door, and the game ends. Once again, we've made it through the night and survived another human horror. As the final text pops up, we learn a bit more about Kara. She was 3 years older than him, so 21. Not the craziest of age gaps normally, but it makes a difference in high school. She was on meth, apparently. She didn't take anything from the house but the knife she was going to use on Noah. But it's over now. We have once again reached the end of another Fears to Fathom analysis, and this one was a lot of fun. Much longer than the other two, which is why this video took a lot longer to come out, among other reasons. But guess what? The rest of the games in this series are even longer. I'll try to get to episode 4 as quickly as I can. When I was playing these games in order originally, this entry quickly became my favorite. That is, until I reached the final episode. I love knowing more about our villain's motivations. I loved all the new things and details that were added, and I definitely loved the longer experience. The next 2 episodes expand greatly upon the best parts of this episode, and I'm excited to talk about them soon. So that's gonna do it for tonight, Boneheads. Thanks for watching, and hey, keep an eye on the people you used to talk to. You never know when one of them is going to show back up.